So I've been sitting on some info for a little while now, and I'm very excited to finally be able to talk about it. Visible, which many of you know on my channel already, and is the same company that completely changed how I look at my wireless bill, is officially getting into the home internet market. Launching today as of this video going live, Visible Home Internet is available. Just like how Visible transformed the cell phone space, they are looking to do the same thing with home internet, and not in the traditional way that you might be thinking. Visible Home Internet is a much more modern way to think about the internet. This is a completely plug and play setup, which means no technician, no contracts, and no prior experience, and it's clearly designed to fix probably one of the most annoying parts about moving and getting your internet set up. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what exactly Visible Home Internet is, how much it costs, what makes this different from a traditional internet service, and how this compares to some of the other newer alternatives like Mint Mobile's Minternet and the just recently revealed US Mobile Starlink bundle. Because looking at the surface, Visible might be offering one of the cheapest and simplest home internet options that we've seen in a super long time. Alright, so let's start with what this thing actually is. Visible Home Internet is a wireless home internet service that runs on the already existing Verizon network, specifically their 5G and LTE infrastructure. So instead of running a cable line to your house and scheduling a technician to come out, Visible just ships you the gateway, and once you get the gateway, you open the box, you plug it in, and you're connected to the internet. It really is that simple. For those of you that have bought a house before, you know, either before you move in or shortly after, you have to schedule an installation appointment, wait around all day, or maybe they might give you a 4-hour time window, and then you have to deal with either the traditional cable company, or if you are lucky enough to have fiber in your area, a fiber company. And that does seem to be the entire idea with this service. Clearly, Visible wants to target people who want the internet to just work without jumping through a bunch of hoops to get it. Visible mentioned that over 60% of people that move into a new place want the internet on the first day they move in, or even set up the day before, and honestly, that does make total sense. If you have ever moved, especially for me, being able to have the internet as soon as possible is very important. I do use it for everything. I use it for my job, and just being able to not deal with the frustration of getting it would definitely be a plus. Now that you know what the internet is, let's talk about the part that you might find the most interesting, and that is their pricing. I am very happy to say that it's extremely affordable, and Visible is coming in really aggressively here. There is an intro offer where you pay $50, and included in that initial price is the gateway and the first 2 months of service. So right away, you're getting started for just $50. This is less than the price of 1 full month of internet that I have right now, and I'm willing to bet that your bill is probably even higher than that. After the initial period is over, the price drops down to $30 per month, or if you want to pay annually instead of paying monthly, it's $300 for the entire year, which if you did the math, that comes out to just $25 per month. If you were to compare this to the wireless service at my house right now, that's actually half the price. And really, this is right on brand for Visible, but as always, the taxes and fees are always included. There are no taxes on later. There are no extra fees hiding in the checkout process. There are no equipment rental charges. What you see is actually what you pay for, and that is amazing. One of the best parts is the gateway that they send you. They don't loan it to you. You don't have to pay for it, not even monthly. It's yours to keep, and you will never be charged for keeping it even if you decide to not stick with it. You can literally keep this thing forever. This is a pretty big shift compared to most internet service providers that either charge you every month for an equipment rental or even hit you with a fee if you forget to return something. So overall, the pricing here is very straightforward. It's very simple, and it is definitely in line with how Visible handles their existing phone plans. Now, in terms of performance on the internet plan, I'm not sure yet because this service was actually just released today, but I wouldn't doubt that it might be a bit more situational. Because this internet plan is running on Verizon's network, the speeds you receive will depend a lot on where you live. If you live in an area with a stronger 5G signal or solid LTE coverage, you will probably get decent performance. But if Verizon isn't great in your area to begin with, this might not be the best option for you. With fiber or cable internet, you usually know more about what you are getting and the connection would be pretty strong. So this really does come down to your specific location. I would also be willing to bet that this internet option is not as strong speed-wise as something like fiber or cable if you have those options available to you, but time will tell. This also doesn't mean that this is a bad thing. It just might mean that it's not a one-size-fits-all sort of scenario. In terms of value though, they're even leaning into bundling it with their mobile service. As of the recording of this video, I don't know what plans can be bundled with their internet, but they're saying that you can get unlimited phone service plus home internet for around $55 a month total, which is an incredible value. And if that actually works out well, that's kind of crazy value compared to what most people are paying right now. Now, I did want to compare this to something like Mint Mobile's internet, which is also called Minternet. Mint Mobile operates on the T-Mobile network, and the idea here with their internet is pretty similar. Wireless home internet, no contracts, and it does have simple pricing, but Mint Mobile tends to structure things a little bit differently. They usually push you toward paying upfront for multiple months at a time, which can save you money, but it also means that you're committing to more upfront. And we're not talking about small amounts. You are paying anywhere from $120 to $540 upfront for Minternet, depending on how many months you're looking for. Visible, on the other hand, gives you the option and the flexibility to just pay monthly if you want, and you also could pay yearly, and you don't need to pay as much upfront. You only need to pay $50. Also, side note, but Minternet is actually not available at my own address, which kind of surprised me. I live in a small to medium-sized town, but I'm like in town. I'm definitely not in a rural setting, so it's just something to keep in mind because you might not be able to get it. I don't know yet if Visible Home Internet will end up being available at my address, but time will tell. Now, if we look at something like US Mobile offering internet and bundles through Starlink, that's a completely different type of category. Starlink uses satellites instead of cell towers, which means it can work in a lot of rural areas where traditional internet just isn't available. But that does also come with some trade-offs. One being is that it's more expensive. Two being the equipment setup is way more involved because you are literally attaching something to your house. And three, it's not nearly as simple as just plugging it in a box and getting online. So really, these types of services are targeting different types of users. If you're in a city or a suburb, Visible is probably the easier and the cheaper option. But if you're in a rural area with limited options, Starlink, so with US Mobile, that might actually be better or potentially your only choice. So in the end, who do I think this service is actually for? I think that it makes the most sense for people who want the internet fast, something that is a great value and also something that's pretty simple. If you rent, you move frequently, or you're tired of traditional internet providers, I think this sounds like a pretty appealing option. This might also just naturally be a good fit if you use Visible for your phone plan, although that doesn't seem like it would be necessary. If this becomes widely available, I'll definitely try to get my hands on it and do a full review. And if you're interested in saving money on your phone plan or your internet, that's pretty much what this channel is all about. For those interested in checking out Visible, I will leave an affiliate link in the top pinned comment and description, which just helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe and like. I'll catch you in the next one, and I hope your day is as pleasant as you are.